What's up, Charles? What's up, Celine? You guys are always in here quick. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm doing a quick, like, 30, 40-minute stream. There's not much going on right now. As this gets closer, I'll do my longer streams again. But, yeah, it does look crazy on the weekend. I want to look a little bit at that, you know? Hope your nights are going good, Santi. Oh, we got the regulars in here. Is this concerning for the weekend? A little bit. I haven't looked at all of the severe parameters yet on the globals and mid to long range models, so we'll take a look at that now together. You know what I'm saying? We'll take a look at it now. See what's going on. All right. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Theodore didn't watch anymore? What's going on, chat? Whoop, whoop. It might get schmacked. Misty, what's going on? East Tennessee's looking nice for the next few days. Very nice. Nothing much to talk about. Nothing much to talk about. Okay, so there's nothing going on. These are just general thunderstorms on day 3. A marginal up in the Pacific Northwest on the PNW day 3. But this, and I think it actually statistically is, I think Mesomat was right. I think this is the largest day 7 risk zone ever. I think this broke a record for the largest day 7 risk zone ever. So, Sunday evening into Monday morning. Sunday evening into Sunday afternoon into Monday morning, really. So, let's take a look at it. How far does our 18Z Euro go, actually? How far does that... Hey, I want to get a new overlay. Ooh, these are cool. 1 second, guys. Streamer tools. Why? I need to look at this stuff. Whoa. Hold up, guys. Hold up, guys. 1 second. Oh, alerts. I really need to customize my stuff. Oh my god, there's nothing for weather. All right, anyways, sorry. Yeah, let's look at this. Let's take a little gander. So, this is taking us out until Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon. When things start to really spark up. Sunday afternoon. You could see the severe weather. I mean, you could see... This is your day 6, right? So we have a severe threat. Saturday into Sunday. That's actually... Now, this looks a little bit farther south. Let's take a look at our Saturday and Sunday severe threat as well. Because the placement of it is weird by them. So this is our day 6, Saturday into Sunday. Missouri down to Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas. So that's interesting. So they're talking about, you know, I guess the Euro doesn't really see too much of this. Maybe the GFS does. Let's take a look at our SIGTOR. Well, we can't look at our SIGTOR on here. Let's take a look at our CAPE here. Saturday into Sunday. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of CAPE, but where's the moisture? Let's look at our dew points. Massive CAPE down there in Texas. That's going to be some big hail. There's a little bit. I mean, dew points aren't terrible. I guess I could see that. I guess I could see this being a decent severe weather threat on Saturday into Sunday. This is going to be Saturday to Monday severe weather. I feel like, you know, they have the risk zone. They have the risk zone here, but these storms really start sparking up out here, and this is just not, you know, that's just too, the instability's not out there. This is where we could get a decent trough ejection, though. What's going on in Montana? A little bit of rain, nothing crazy. What's coming into Montana? Oh, a little bit of snow. A little decent, some decent snow this weekend, but it's going to be high elevation likely. I don't know about the weather balloon cuts, Polaris, so I can't have an opinion on it. This is a big question. What day will 30% be issued? Thursday. All right. Tell Mother Nature to leave Chicago alone. Do you think we should keep an eye on severe weather for Houston? Potentially. Look, this might expand a little bit. We'll have to see. I think it might push east. This is huge. This may come down. This may end up looking more like this. And then we're probably going to see a massive marginal. And then we're probably going to see a moderate in here somewhere. Or an enhanced, and then probably a moderate in here somewhere like this. Right? Will we get a high? I don't know. I don't think so, but I want to take a look at a few things. Okay, the Euro isn't great with this, but we're going to try to get a decent sounding out of this out here. So let's just go into here. Okay, 1.0 SIGTOR. So this has SIGTOR potential right there through western Kentucky, southern Indiana. This whole area does. Let's see what we got cranking up here. I bet you got some up here as well. A little bit of SIGTOR potential, a little bit of SIGTOR potential down here. Let's take a look at our CAPE during this time frame. Let's take a look right here. 3,200 joules per kilogram. 3,500 surface CAPE. 1.5 SIGTOR. This is interesting. Where's that? Arkansas. Look at you down here near Houston. 3,100 joules per kilogram is cranking. Yeah, SIGTOR potential. I mean, on the Euro, 2.5 effective layer SIGTOR parameter, 3,300 surface CAPE forecast. I mean, on the Euro, again, it thinks Sunday afternoon you could see, very strong tornadoes down here. So right now, you're not even in it. Houston's not even in this. But that's why I don't look at this too far out, because the Euro would stretch this risk zone like this. And a lot of times we see that change. The Euro would stretch it down and maybe even put an enhanced through Houston. It's starting to look like something bad. Let me erase that, guys. So we can look at the GFS. So let's see how the GFS plays this out. Is Matt on? I need to pull Matt back into these. Guys, yeah, this cape wants to push all the way up into. You see, the GFS actually isn't as aggressive, but it's still pushing cape. A lot of cape up as far as Chicago, out into Indiana, Ohio, strong cape into Missouri, Southern Illinois, Southern Indiana getting decent cape as well. But again, the Euro has this pretty strong cape really far north. I mean, like, look at this. That's big. That's big. One second, guys. Oh no, do I have the hiccups? One second, guys. Mesomat, why are you never live? All right. Yeah, this is the Euro's really cranking this cape. The Euro underdoes cape a lot too, which is interesting, you know? The Euro underdoes cape a lot. I wonder what this is showing down here cape wise. 5,500 joules per kilogram. This is an absolute joke. This is an 5,400 surface cape. What an absolute joke of a sounding. Oh my gosh. Look. But this, you don't have really great velocity, wind speed shear. You don't really have any helicity. So, you know, this would be strong thunderstorms. This wouldn't be tornado material right here. That was down in Mexico. Okay, I do want to take a quick look at the GFS on this, guys. For this Sunday timing. Let's see if we can get a good sounding out of here. There's a great sounding. Central Mississippi. Gosh, this is the target all year. Great sounding. 3.5, 3.5 effective layer SIG torque param. We've got supercell composite at 16. Fixed layer 6 torque param 3.3, 3,000 joules per kilogram surface cape. This right here, tiny bit of a cap. You know, the velocity shear isn't great, but the directional shear is good. This would put down this would have potential to put down a big tornado. EF2, EF3 plus. This region. I mean, you can get one up here with this type of stuff. With this type of setup. This is far. Oh, there's a ton of issues here with the inhibition, though. But this is far. We're going to see this change a little bit. Lori, you don't need to know what I'm talking about. I'll just what we were just looking at was big tornado potential in here next Sunday. Strong tornado potential. It could expand wider than that. Let's look at our Canadian. This is not a model I like looking at for severe weather, especially at this range. But let's just take a look at it for fun. Oh my gosh. What we're looking at here, this is CAPE, convective available potential energy. Think of the more CAPE there is, the brighter pink you get, right? So this is like not that much, a lot, a ton. The stronger the updrafts are. So the stronger the updrafts are, if you have helicity, which is rotation near the surface, or wind shear, you know, and you have these rotating columns of air parallel to the surface, these updrafts tilt those rotating columns of air up and give you tornadoes. So you need strong updrafts for tornadoes. So just think of all this as strong updrafts, tornado chances. That's what we're looking at here. We're looking at updrafts. We're not looking at rain, snow. This is showing us, really, this is showing us our instability. So the ability for a parcel of air to rise as well. So, yeah, look at this, man. Let me just freeze. Yeah, this is Sunday afternoon when things start to really look crazy. This is up in almost in central Indiana here. 3,500 surface cape. 1,000. You guys with 800 joules per kilogram, you can get a tornado. This is at 3,500. So the Canadians pretty bullish on this, like the euro. This is going to be a big, severe day if we see this setting up like this. The one issue I see which I hope happens, which could collapse this. I like severe weather, but the one thing that could help to collapse this is there's just a mess of moisture here. If you get too much moisture up here, you're going to get a lot of rain-cooled air, and your instability is going to go down. So you really want discrete cells forming out ahead of your main rainstorms, and that's where you're going to have nice inflow and a ton of instability and a ton of really strong updrafts. So we'll see. If this does a good job soaking this area before this second band comes through, we're not going to see big tornadoes, because this is right here is going to be the potential really big severe event, which would be Sunday afternoon through Monday morning. But if this first wave of storms right here before it, that cools down this air, we might be okay. Cools down that air enough. We might still see tornadoes, just not as many, not as significant. This is pivotal weather. If it continues to look like this, we'll have all the storm chasers, especially because with such a wide, with such a big area, a lot of people are just going to be chasing from their hometowns. They don't even have to travel. And I think it's going to get even larger potentially. I think it's going to push down. I think it's going to push down into Texas like that. I don't know why it doesn't include Houston right now. I think it should. I think it will tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, we were showing soundings from Arkansas before. Check this out. Should we look at Little Rock soundings on the Euro? Watch this. Check this out. Okay. Let's go to... Oh, it's already on Arkansas. Perfect. Little Rock Air Force Base. Huh. Look at that. So, just to remind you guys what some of this means. This is... Actually, the helicity is really low here. So is the shear. You have a ton of cape. 3,000 joules per kilogram at the surface. That is a ton of cape. That is a very, very strong updrafts. More than enough moisture in the air here. This SRH is storm relative helicity down. This is down at the surface, 0 to 1 kilometer level. That's a little bit low. So is your surface shear, which is interesting. Let me pull this back a little bit. There it is. I would say right now the most significant timing, this would be actually around 6. This would be around 6 a.m. Sunday right now. This could change this timing. This would be around 6 a.m. Sunday, where we have a good amount of cape, 1,500 joules per kilogram at the surface, lots of rotation down at the surface, 30 knot shear at the surface. This would be a decent setup here. Problem is, there's a big you got this cap. So when you see this out here, guys, this is your parcel of air. Right here, this pink line. And it needs to be warmer than the environment to raise up and to lift moisture up, condense it, and release that latent heat that fuels thunderstorms. It's actually cold. This is the environment. The red line's the environment. So it's actually colder than the environment. Right at about the 850 millibar level, it's actually colder than the environment. But as the day heats up, remember, this is at 6 a.m. As the day heats up, as we get around 9, 10, I think this parcel is actually going to be here. And then what happens is the cap breaks and it explosion of thunderstorms. That's when you see on the radar 1 second there's no thunderstorms, and then 10 minutes later it's like boom, popcorn, all these thunderstorms. You break the cap, you pop it as the day heats up, and then suddenly you get a big explosion of CAPE. So who knows, 8 or 9 a.m., 9 or 10 a.m. I think 9 or 10 a.m. I'm leaning 10 a.m. right now. This looks like Sunday around just in Arkansas in general. We could see some decent tornado parameters, but plenty of time for this to change. Like I said, again, there's going to be a lot of changes in this in the next 6 days, but I'm just, that's going off of what the info we have now, but we'll see it adjust, and then I'll tell you what it looks like in a little bit. It won't hit Alaska. Right now, if I'm looking at this, just based off the future radar, based off the future radar, obviously this looks like the most significant, but I don't know, because what I want to say is, because you need some decent CAPE too. You're going to have more shear up here. You know what? Let's take a look at this, and then let's take a look at our jet. We need a strong jet for this. So this is interesting. 850 millibar jet. So this could be some really good timing right here. So again, I actually would favor down here. And remember, this part down here, they don't really even have it in the slight risk. I would favor this really from almost San Antonio and Austin all the way up through, probably all the way up through to Louisville, Southern Illinois, Southern and Central Indiana, St. Louis as well. But again, we're probably going to see a threat far, much bigger, expanded out. But this is where I think our biggest threat is going to be, a little bit farther down to the south than where they have it. So here's how the SPC lays it out. From what I'm seeing, this looks to be the biggest threat. But yeah, I don't know. I think they'll shift the slight, and then we'll see. We'll see. I like trying to guess what they're going to do with the risk zones. Even though Atlanta is in the 15%, nothing will. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Oklahoma doesn't have the ground moisture for storm development. Yes, it's an issue. You'll get it, and this storm isn't doing it. Let's look at our 500 millibar height. You see, let's go back to the 12Z. You need to get that moisture into Oklahoma right now, you need a very, very, very tilted trough. So like something like this would actually do it. Something like this. Now this is very far out. This is April 4th. But something like this would actually lift. This would be strong enough to lift in from the Pacific and lift in from the Gulf, and then you would actually have this is actually a really good setup for Tornado Alley. But what we're dealing with this one is something like this. So these are more westerly, southwesterly, and that's why your threat is over here and not up through Tornado Alley. Your trough just isn't digging as deep. It's not negatively tilting as much. You're not getting that true southerly flow. Sometimes you even get a southeasterly flow when these troughs dig in enough. Sometimes you can. Especially down at the surface. Let's take a look at this down at the surface. Yeah. You're literally getting this is almost a southeasterly flow here and then a southerly flow. So this can actually pull stuff like this. This is a Tornado Alley outbreak that we're looking at potentially. This is next weekend. This is going to change, but this is the setup that would give you that severe weather in Oklahoma and Kansas. But right now, again, with this setup, you can tell why it is where it is, because this is our jet. You know, this is where it's pulling. This is where it's creating the instability right here. This is our shear, and this is where our dew points, our moisture is being pulled up. La Nina storm season is going to be challenging. Yeah. La Ninas, we can see 2 to 3 times more severe weather during a La Nina than in an El Nino. You just got that meridional troughing. There's a lot more air boundary clashing than in an El Nino. Dallas strong storms next weekend. I'm full. I just ate Chipotle, guys, and it's hurting me. I shouldn't have eaten it this late. I'm gonna regret this. Okay. All right. Are you guys in this risk zone actually now? I think you guys may get expanded into it as well, but I don't know, because we're gonna see this jet kind of pushing out like this. We're gonna see a lot of that cape. The strongest cape's gonna be a little bit to your south. Let's take a look at how the Euro sees this on the 18Z. The Euro doesn't see anything happening up there in Dallas, but I think you'll have. Let's look at our unstable cape. This is significant cape over Dallas Sunday morning. Do we have any sig tor params? Let's see. Yeah, you do. Effective layer is pretty low though. Yeah, I mean, you'll probably get put in a risk zone out here if we continue to see this look. Dallas Fort Worth. I just think the jet. I think you're gonna have an issue with helicity, with your storm relative helicity. I think that's gonna be, and your kind of velocity shear. I think that's gonna be out to your east, which is a good thing. Sorry, Santi, I forgot your Chipotle. Michigan could see a couple more winter storms. Look at this iciness. Let's take a look at what the... there's a pretty big warm-up coming, though. You know, this could be another snowstorm for Michigan. April 1st. And then that could be another one, April 3rd. And then that could be another one. We'll see if that's another one, April 5th. That could be another one, April 7th. The Euro really wants to keep giving you some snow. What's our GFS seeing? A little snow there. A little snow there. A little snow there. You guys, whoa, big dip in cold air. What the heck? You guys might, yeah, you're probably going to see a little bit more snow. I trust the Euro, though, on that. A lot of it's going to be central to northern Michigan, though. I don't think Detroit's going to see that much more. Chicago's probably going to end up being put. I think Chicago might end up in a slight. So yeah, I would at least be weather aware, weather alert that day. Yeah. I think you'll end up being put in a slight. This could cause some problems. So let me take a sounding out here. Interesting. Let's see. Nothing crazy showing on the soundings. You guys may end up lucking out on this and just getting some rain showers, but I would watch it. We're gonna see this risk zone move around a little bit in the next few days. Yeah, that tornado was wild. Wasn't that Wasn't the 2013 more one like 2 miles wide? Why does in El Nino it says that you have colder temps in the south typically, but in La Nina you have a lot less cold air down south? But those are flip flopped because it was really cold. Again, Celine, like when we're in an El Nino, there's like a 7 out of 10 chance you're gonna get El Nino conditions. There's still a chance you don't get El Nino conditions as a whole for the winter. When you're in a La Nina, 7 or 8 chance, 70, 80% chance you actually get La Nina conditions. But there's still a chance that, some weird things happen in our atmosphere. And, the South typically gets more snow in El Nino seasons. We just had a foot of snow across the Gulf. We just had record snowfall across the South, across the Gulf. And we were in a La Nina season. That's not typical, but it can happen. Just because you're in El Nino or La Nina doesn't mean you're guaranteed to see El Nino or La Nina conditions. You are in the ocean temperature wise, but you're more likely. You're more likely to see more moisture and cold air down here in an El Nino, warmer, drier up here. And you're typically more likely in a La Nina to see a lot of snow and below average temperatures here and here, and then typically warmer and drier conditions here. If you look at the 100-year averages, this looks like a smiley face. If you look at the 100-year averages, it's just very true. From what I heard, there's limited moisture on Saturday, but since it's discrete, it could be bad. Well, I wonder what model they're looking at. Let's take a look at our dew points. Saturday... yeah, Sunday, there's plenty of moisture. Saturday, it's not like the most impressive dew points. And you've got dews up in the 60s, pretty far up. Look at down here, 72 dew point. Oh my gosh. Houston's seeing it showing crazy params. So this is a good amount of moisture. The big question is going to be how much does this thing dig and tilt? So here's our low. So let's zoom out. Here's our system. That's going to cause this. Here it is. Right here. It's going to move across and then kind of move up. If this thing can dig a little bit farther and get a better negative tilt, we'll have so much moisture available. You can see the secondary piece of energy here, the secondary low right here that wants to kind of move up or follow. Yeah, there we go. Follow to its south. So we've got our main low pressure here, our trough, positively to negatively tilting up there to the north, and we have another surface low down here to the south. If this thing can get a little bit more of a tilt here, that's going to change. That's going to change these southwesterlies to southerlies, and if we can get some southerly wind, this severe threat will. I don't think, and you are right, you could have more of a discrete setup with less moisture. But I think if this thing tilted and we saw southerly winds, that also sets up that's more directional moisture, and you're still going to be dry out ahead of that. So if this thing were to tilt a little bit more, because right now we're pulling in moisture like this. If this thing were to tilt a little bit more, and it could, we're going to be watching it, and we were to get kind of this moisture pulled up like this, you're still going to have a dry pocket out ahead here. We'll have to see. How does the GFS have this thing looking as it comes across? The GFS has it much weaker. Look at this. It's not. This is just a completely different look. There's tons of divergence happening everywhere, but the actual system. This is barely a neutral tilt on the GFS. This is weak sauce on the GFS. I think our Canadian actually has this looking pretty decent. Let's see. No, it's really the euro. The euro gives us our strongest look here. You can see it actually negatively tilting here slightly. None of these look too significant though. So we'll see. I mean, we're not seeing like a major trough ejections like we did a couple weekends ago with that, where we saw those 100 confirmed tornadoes. This thing has the chance to bust. It does. Ooh, this would be crazy though right here. This thing has a chance to bust. But my gut's telling me that this thing is that they're underestimating this system digging down and tilting. I think we might see a more negative tilt out of this as it rolls through. It's going to depend if it can get some help from the north, from a piece up here pushing down. We'll see. I actually think they might be underestimating that negative tilt. I'm curious how the day 5 will look tomorrow as well. GFS says so far at the end of April. GFS is doing crazy things. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I was just going to do a short stream today because there's not really much going on right now. I mean, we've got some rain moving off the coast, a little bit of snow up in Maine. Some rainfall up there in PNW. But, yeah, I mean, Illinois, Indiana, especially southwestern Indiana could see SIGTORs this weekend. I would watch out. You guys may be putting an enhanced or a moderate if this doesn't downtrend. Yali, what's going on? So yeah, you know, I'm gonna put some updates up tomorrow. I think the big day for us is gonna be Thursday. We're gonna get our NAM. We're gonna get our HRRR in for Saturday and our NAM in for Sunday, so we can look at a little bit of the SIGTOR potential in there. And so Thursday is gonna be a big day for seeing what this thing's gonna do. Next couple days, we'll see how it's going. Just here to show some support because I'm going to sleep. Pregnancy tiredness is real. Yeah. My wife's gonna be 35 weeks this week, so she's feeling it. Although I've heard you can be I know you can be much more tired too in the first trimester than the third. Is the heat staying in AZ? Well, let's look at the Climate Prediction Center. March 30th to April 3rd. March 1st to April 4th. Or sorry, April 1st to April 4th. So much of the country is staying warm. The majority of the country is staying pretty warm. All right, guys. I'm going to post another update tomorrow. I should be on earlier tomorrow. Not this late and for this short of period of time. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. You know, sometimes I like it when the stream is slow. You know what I mean? Like, I can read more chats. Giovanni, I appreciate that. Casey, we'll see. I'm gonna, when we start getting those the SIGTOR param models, I'll be showing you guys where all that stuff is in my video and on live. It's possible to get high risk with this. It's definitely possible. I don't think we're gonna get a high risk with this. I think, honestly, I don't even know if we're gonna get a moderate with this. We might just get in it. We're definitely getting an enhanced. We're definitely getting an enhanced. I don't even know if we're getting a moderate. It's looking like a downtrend right now, but there's plenty of time for that to change. I could wake up tomorrow and look at the new model and be like, nope, this is going moderate. So we'll see. No, yeah, I can't really show. I mean, I can show the closest thing I can get to you to showing you like SIGTOR parameters is like, you know, I can like CAPE. Like Casey, where are you? I'll do this before I get off. I'll do this before I get off. Oh, yeah, southwestern Indiana. That's right. So, I mean, I could kind of get it. I could cheat. Go into my most unstable cape. Pick a spicy time. Boom, right there. 1.0 effective layer. Sigtor Param. This means EF2 plus tornadoes are possible. So, that would be Sunday morning around 9 a.m. Things might even get dicier as we get into Sunday afternoon. You've got Sigtor Params on Sunday right now in the Euro. But again, there's time for this to change. There's time for this to change. So don't take anything, at face value quite yet. We'll see how things change. Ooh, this was all over the place. All right. Everyone have a great night. I'll post again tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll be on a little bit earlier tomorrow so I can actually hang out a little bit more. All right. See you guys. See you, Celine. See you, Santi. Casey. All right. Later, guys.